Oh, man. Just a little groove right there for you, Tim.
There we go.
Just a little groove going on right there, boys and girls. All right. Guys, what is going on? We are back here in the mix. What's going on? Let's see here. Let's jump into the conversation. Let's see here. Hey, who won the bet, Tim?
There was no winners. Nobody won this one.
No winners, man. That's what we're looking for here. I heard you guys over there in the background. Look at this.
Well, Iron Looper, man, he was like 840. I mean, he had no faith in you whatsoever.
I know, man. And look, I just try to do a little bit better every single time, you know? Just a little bit. What's going on, Lionel Randall? Let's see here. We got Spanish Cop. What's going on, Spanish Cop? I know what you're looking for, dude. He wants my my airplane.
Which one?
It's the God, what is it? It's not the Tucano. It is the Tucano, actually. Yeah, he wants the Tucano. I've flown it like maybe 3 or 4 times.
Well, that's how you fly. You usually fly some a couple times and then you sell it.
I know, man. I fly them a couple of times. Dude, you should see how much room I don't have in my garage. It's actually getting to the point where I'm feeling like kind of claustrophobic in there. But
well, the last time I was at your house, it was you could barely walk in the garage.
Oh, I know.
And you sold a bunch off, and now you're telling me the garage looks similar to when I saw it?
Yeah, it is actually. Wow. But I will say the RC airplane trailer is what's taking up most of it, though, like the majority.
Well, before there was no trailer in there, and it was still like it looked like a hoarder.
I know.
With planes in your garage.
I know. I was, dude. It's not different. It just has a trailer in there with airplanes in it and airplanes around it. So I don't even use the trailer like I need to. It's a little bit too big for me. I need something a little bit smaller just to kind of wheel around. But guys, I want to tell y'all happy freaking Thursday. We made it again to another Thursday show. Dude, this is like show 199.
Really?
Yeah, 199.
You think we're going to make it to 200?
I believe so.
I believe so.
I mean, we're literally one show away, dude. There's been so many waypoints that have been hit, dude. The channel, my YouTube channel, hit over 100,000 subscribers. It took 5 years to hit it, but hit that, and that's been great. So, been super happy about that.
I'm going to take some of the credit. I think a lot of the new viewers like the new
man. There was a lot of dude. I'll give you credit for that, man. There's been a lot of people that helped me along the way. There's been a lot of people that helped me get to that waypoint, man. And so lots of hard effort and time, and sweat, blood, and tears, and consistency. So finally, the algorithm likes me. So let's see here. We got Lyndon Stewart in the mix. What's going on, Lyndon? How's it going? He says, "Greetings, RC Plane Reviewer. You guys have any flying planned for Memorial Day?" Absolutely, dude. I'm going to fly on Memorial Day. Tim, you going to fly?
I hope so. Man. The weather doesn't look like it's going to cooperate right now.
Oh, don't say that, dude. Don't say that.
It's like a 95% chance of rain here all day Monday.
Oh, dude. I haven't even looked at the weather, but
don't look at it because all next week is supposed to be nothing but rain. I think it's supposed to start I think it's Monday, and it's supposed to rain till like Friday.
Man, I hope not.
And dude. I hope the weatherman is wrong.
I do too. Honestly, I do too. But I will say, I love flying on Memorial Day. It's like just one of those good days, but we'll see. If it's light rain, I'm still going to fly. I just hope it's not going to do it all day. Big shout out to Josh Bond, by the way, guys. He sent, Tim, you're going to love this video. Josh just sent me. And Josh, I hope it's okay if I share this video with you.
If it's not, he's still going to show it. So don't worry about it.
Oh, Tim, it's right up your alley. Matter of fact, I'm going to show it right now. So,
all right, let's see it.
All right, here we go. You got to unmute your mic there, Butter. Tim, look at that. Look at that, Tim. You got to unmute your mic. Tim, look at that. Unmute your mic, Tim. Check that out. That is absolutely amazing. And he's got smoke on it. Like, what more do you want, guys? Check that out. Check that out. How cool is that?
I don't have Josh Bunn money. I can't.
Tim, you have to unmute yourself. The whole time you were talking, we couldn't hear you. You had to unmute yourself.
I am unmute. You can't hear me right now?
No, when that video's playing, you have to unmute yourself. Yeah, dude.
Oh, well, nobody told me that before.
Tim.
New to the channel.
Tim, I know you love that video.
Oh, God, yeah. Josh, what is that? What manufacturer is that? What size turbines are those? Look like at least 170s or 190s.
Yep. Need for Speed said, Josh, how much does something like that cost? Those are huge turbines.
Hey, if you got to ask.
That's right. That's right. It's too much.
Skymaster, okay.
So
190s. I thought they were 170s or 190s.
190s on there.
Yeah, I got a 190s. I got a 190 in my BVM F16. Love it.
Good grief. I do wonder, though, Josh, how much does something like that, you know? And it's 1/6 scale.
Well, it's a Skymaster with two 190s in it. The 190s are almost $3,000 a piece. So he's almost got $6,000 in motors. And then the Skymaster, I don't even know what the Skymaster F4 cost, but it ain't cheap.
Should I Google it, man?
I don't know. Should we give Josh's paycheck or what he makes in a paycheck every month out?
Yeah, we should. Now,
okay.
Let's see here. Skymaster 1/6 scale F4. Bam.
Yeah, Josh, I'm on the waiting list for the 6 scale BVM F4 that they're coming out with. It won't be out until end of the year. I'm on the waiting list, but that's a single turbine because I'm like,
dude. It's actually not terribly bad. The 1/6 scale is about $4,000.
That's not. I don't think that's a 1/6 scale with 2 turbines in it.
Well, the Skymaster large F4 1/6 scale R Plus Pro. That's what he said. It was 1/6 scale. Man, that's a lot of coin there, buddy. Woo.
Yeah, 3,000 turbine sounds low to me. I don't know. On a 190, I think that's about right.
And twin 190s, man, that's
twin 190s. Yeah, you probably got about $6,000 in it.
That's tough.
Those are Schwinn, so you can look it up on CRX's website and find out. Johnny
Sansel said, "You can't hide that money." Josh Bunn says, "I have not added it up." He says, "I'm scared to." Yeah, don't worry about adding it up there, Josh. I'm telling you,
where do you live? So and what's your address? And can I have that?
Don't do it. Don't do it. And for you guys, this is just an energy drink. It's amino energy. Just so you know. I don't want people getting the wrong idea.
What's up, Che?
Che, what's going on, man? Me and Che have been talking back and forth today. It's actually been pretty funny. Having all kinds of crazy laughs.
Like he was last week. I don't know what kind of drugs he was on last week, but man, he was a character last week.
Oh, dude, he was having fun. He was having fun. Josh Bunn said he's just outside Raleigh, North Carolina. He is. He's just outside the outskirts. So
really,
yeah, not too far.
You're gonna have to come down to our new field when we get it up. Charlotte Air Modelers. We should be up and running probably by September. 700-foot runway, totally flat, 100-foot wide.
Man,
it's and we're gonna be turbine approved. So it's gonna have clubhouse, bathhouse, all kinds of stuff. So
jeez,
hopefully we'll get him down there so I can maybe get a turn on the sticks of that thing.
Lyndon Stewart says, RC Plane Reviewer, it's rainy season here in Georgetown, Guyana. On Monday, it's Independence Day over here. So there you go, man. That's awesome. Winston Brown, what's going on? He says, wow, what a beautiful aircraft, Josh. Can't wait to see it in real flight F4. He's going to be able to see it out there at his fill. So I'm trying to get into the comments and see. Let's see. Lana Randall said, Bobby, did you get your YouTube 100K subscribers plaque? Not yet. I just hit it a couple of days ago. So not yet. I don't know how that actually works, but, it'll be kind of cool.
Yeah, Winston, that is our field cam, the Charlotte Aero Modelers.
Let's see here. I'm trying to jump into the comments and make sure I didn't leave anybody. Plain Day says, who makes those turbines? I think those are Schwewins, right? 190s?
Yep.
Yeah, Schwewin makes those. So that was actually pretty cool, man. I know Josh can't wait to fly that thing. But hey guys, while we're in here, dude, we have had a lot of cool airplanes come into the market. One of the new airplanes that came out today was the new E-Flight Micro B2 Spirit America twin 30 millimeter EDF jet. Tim, what you think about it, man?
I think it's pretty neat. I mean, I don't fly UMX planes, but for $230, I mean, it looks pretty cool. And
that's right. Get all pretty.
It's black, and it's going to probably need to put some clear over it to keep it from
for sure
popcorning. But it's a pretty neat looking plane. I think there's going to be I think it's going to be a good seller for him. Hopefully better than the SR-71 was.
I would agree, man. I definitely think so. I definitely want to see how this thing actually works out because, it's kind of a neat looking little airplane there. I kind of want to see exactly just how well it flies.
You talking about that little?
I watched a couple of videos today. It looked like it did pretty good. One guy, he's flying over a power line with it. Jay, I think his name is. And every time he flew over the power line, the thing almost inverted itself. I think he was getting interference.
Really?
Yeah. He's flying in his front yard in power lines, right? And I flew right over it. Every time, both times, it looked like it lost signal or something. I'm not sure.
Well, let's take a look at it. I've got it up, and let's see what you guys think. You guys on the channel, let's see exactly what you think. I think it's actually pretty cool. When I saw it come out, I was like, you know what? That's kind of neat. It's different. I didn't expect that, but let's take a look. So here we go. We got it right here. And let's see. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, cool. Yeah, we got the Micro B2 Spirit of America, twin 30 millimeter. I haven't seen any video of this thing flying yet. So this is actually going to be kind of cool because I haven't seen any of it. So let's take a look at it. Has it got music? Of course it's got music. We'll take. Now, you know before if you hear retract. I don't know if it does. All right. Tim, what do you think so far, man?
I think it looks pretty cool. I mean, obviously it doesn't have retracts, which, UMX, there's no way you could jam them in there anyways.
Right.
But flies off a 850 mil MAH battery, 3-cell. So batteries
it looks pretty stable.
It is. It doesn't have the what do they call them? The brakes on it. I don't know what you call it.
Little spoiler-ons.
Yeah, whatever they're called. It doesn't have that, which obviously, probably couldn't fit it in that little unit. But yeah, and they put little holes in there so you could put your fingers in it to hand toss it if you wanted to hand toss it without.
See, that is so important. There's so many people who don't make that in these models, and it's so important when you're going to hand toss this little guy.
I wouldn't know how you'd hand toss it if you didn't have the little holes in there.
Exactly. No,
definitely need something to grab a hold to.
Right.
Yeah. Man, that little 3S 850 milliamp battery is actually, that's a pretty stout battery.
Yep.
It's like twin 30 mils, man. I mean,
yeah, it is twin 30s. Mm-hmm.
It's kind of interesting, actually. And you just chuck it, and it goes. Oh, it's got hand launch assist mode. Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah, it's got like the S3X Plus in it. Just
they're going to utilize that for a selling point.
The only thing is, don't you guys think it's going to be hard to see that thing? Like you're going to get orientation mix. I mean, look at that. How can you tell which way it's going?
I mean, I'm
sure you're going to have to have your eyes glued to it.
Yeah, I agree. Like I'm losing orientation on it right now. I still think it's going to be kind of cool to see though. I mean, it's pretty neat. And the interesting thing though is the price point for it is not terrible at all. It's really not.
Mm-mm.
Let's see here. So we're going to go on back. and we'll take a look at it.
I mean, it is the most expensive UMX. I don't think there is another. What was the SR71 at? I don't even remember.
I don't know.
I don't remember.
I don't either. Let's see here. Just trying to take a look over here.
Just so everybody knows.
The E-Flight SR71, it was twin 40s.
Yeah.
No, I said what the price was.
Oh gosh, I think that thing sunk in price, man. It's like 2 something, and then it just dropped down. Like I think they were almost giving that plane away.
Well, they couldn't sell them. Remember, they had so many of them, they just weren't moving.
Yeah.
And just to interrupt, Josh Bunn spent $27.50 per turbine.
Oh my gosh!
I looked it up.
Jeez, man, what in the world? That's crazy.
And Plane Day, you're right. Schwewens are cheaper than King Techs. I mean, they definitely have a good price. I run King Techs in a couple turbines, and I've got a couple Schwewens, and the price on the King Techs are absolutely more.
Man, that's crazy. Let's see here. Let me jump over here, jump back into the comments. I like that I can actually see them on the screen now. It's kind of cool. There we go. Let's see here. Hamilton says, I'll argue that it's not a UMX, and it's more like a 64 overall with the size and the performance. And Hamilton says, like my twin 50 Rappy Rap. Okay. That's definitely not terrible, though,
I think there is one company, Plane Day, that makes a 117 Stealth. What's that company? I can't remember who makes that 117 Stealth.
Yeah, anybody make a decent 117 Stealth? Wasn't it LX that made it, though?
Yes, it was LX models, yeah.
It probably wouldn't be decent. LX made it.
Iron Mover says $279 for the SR71 now.
That was more expensive.
It was, yeah.
Wow.
CVO Hobo said the same thing. Flyer Mikey says doesn't need the clear fin to fly either. Let's see. Hamilton says, I know it's small, but not like UMX because you can't fly that B2 indoors if you want to keep it. Yeah, that's true. It's actually pretty good.
Well, depending on where you're at indoors. You probably got a big enough gym.
One of the videos I watched this morning, that thing, or the day, I should say, not this morning, and the guy was trying to land it in front of his house on his driveway, and that thing was coming in like a missile. It did not slow down at all.
Which one was that?
The B2.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, the new UMX one, dude, he couldn't get, I mean, it was coming in like a rocket ship.
I mean, I guess so, considering its size. I mean, it's so.
Yeah, it doesn't have any, it doesn't have hardly any drag.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. What's going on, Yegs? Yeah, it's crazy, though. So while we're over there talking about that, let's take a look over here. And let's talk about the SE5A, dude. This the 900 millimeter bond and fly 309 little airplane, dude. Look, check this out. I finally put this little bad boy together, man. Check this thing out, dude. It's just oozing of like World War I style. Look at that, man.
Yeah.
It's absolutely cool. Yeah, man. It's absolutely cool. And I put it together and everything, and it went together kind of. It wasn't necessarily easy, but it wasn't hard. I mean, I had to go through and put all these like little stringers and everything in here, and I had to put the cabanes on there, the canards, and everything like that. So it worked out really well. And then on top, it has a simulated machine gun up there, man. And it's got a little dude in there with the little little scarf around his neck and everything.
But does the machine gun
look like he's flying even though he's not moving?
Exactly. Yeah, man. This thing's cool.
By the way, I forgot to tell you, Bobby, I did get to fly the new version 2 A-10 on Tuesday. One of the guys at our field bought one, helped him make it. Dude, it landed. I got the version 1, and I never had any problems landing it, but that thing was so much easier to land than my version 1.
Is it because of the gear?
It's not the gear. They changed something on that plane, and it doesn't want to hop when you come in for a landing.
Yeah.
Just really smooth.
Man.
And believe it or not, I know Jeremy's not on here. The blue slime lights, I flew it at dusk. It was gorgeous.
Was it really?
Yeah, it's pretty neat.
Let me see, jumping into here. Hex B says, I mean, people can complain about anything, LOL. He's right. Let's see. Frigsby, that little sucker. I talk about throwing that B1. Man, That is crazy though, but that's why Hexpeed's correct. Why I wouldn't slow down is because it's a super clean design. It's just efficient as heck, you know.
Oh yeah, it came in like a missile.
Prime Day says it needs air brakes. You know, I just think that little thing is so small. Sometimes, man, you get those airplanes and they're just so small that it's like there's just no way around it. But I do
smaller
think
airplanes aren't necessarily easier to fly either.
Yeah.
Well, in the weight,
I agree.
I mean, they put another servo in there to run that. Well, now it's just got a little bit heavier.
Lionel Randall said Wesley said they enlarged the elevator, so that's good.
On the A-10, yeah.
So, what'd you think of it though? Did you like it, Tim? I mean, it flew pretty good, like pretty much like the V1.
You know, I'm trying not to buy foamies anymore, and stick with the turbines and the giant scale warbirds. But man, I'll tell you what, I had the version 1, and there's nothing wrong with my version 1 except the front gear.
Yeah,
the plastic cracked on it, and the gear's loose, and I got to fix it, which is a total pain in the butt to fix. But
I fixed mine. Yep, it wasn't easy.
I'm sitting here going, man, I'd really like to have that A-10.
I know. My question is this: how much is it all going for now? Because I know for a fact that everything went up high and just kind of never really came down just recently. So
yeah, well, the tariffs, we had that 90-day pause on the tariff, or
right,
or whatever it was, 25-30%. I don't remember what it was. And now, but Motion went up on price on a lot of things, especially on their helis. Those 470 helis that just came in, they went up to almost $200 freaking dollars.
Yeah,
and I'm
exactly. $779 for that A-10 is a plug and play right now.
$779.
Yep, $779 is a plug and play
with the in runners and the gyro. You can buy it with the outrunners with no gyro, or you can buy it as an ARF.
I wouldn't waste the time on the outrunners. Just buy the in runners. No, you know it's going to fly better.
No, the guy that I flew had Spectrum batteries in it, and there's nothing against Spectrum batteries, but 3 minutes and 30 seconds, he was at 3.9.
What?
Yeah, it did not, and that
was on the end runners.
On the end runners,
yeah, that's what I say. That's what I say. Get the end runners. Don't waste time with the outrunners.
No, he's got the end runners. They only flew for 3 minutes and 30 seconds on Spectrum. I think they were 5,000s. I'm not exactly sure. I didn't put the batteries in there, but I had a set of SMCs that I wanted to charge. I was going to charge for them and just see what we could get out of it, but he wasn't interested in putting my SMC batteries in it. So
wow. Well, it's like me and Bobby. We flew that Tomcat on the maiden, and with the end runners, it got 3 minutes 27 seconds of power, and it still had like 40-something% still left in the pack.
Right.
And I was like, man, that's crazy, but that's the difference you get between those end runners and outrunners. Outrunners are just waste a lot of energy for EDFs.
I have seen I have seen another video on the A-10 with the SMC 5900 high voltage batteries, and they got 6 minutes on that A-10.
Oh wow!
Oh yeah, yeah, you can do that.
So Flyer Mikey says they had trailing link gear on there, which made it so much better. Spanish Cop says he says I have the V2, and it definitely lands better, like Tim was saying, than any other A-10 foam jet he's had. And he said that A-10 is pretty nice. I want a twin 80mm Dassault Rafale. That's interesting. That isn't. Let's see. RC Plane Game said, let's see. A-10s, I mean. So they were G2 batteries.
Were they G2 batteries? I don't know. I did not look at he put the batteries in it, and I flew it. I didn't pay attention to which ones they were.
Spanish said, I run 5,900 SMCs on my A-10 V2s. Hey, Spanish, how long do you get? What kind of flight times are you getting out of that thing on those? Let's see. Hamilton said SMCs all day. Hexspeed says, really hard to judge flight times. I've been flying electric since Tykes, wherein throttle managements were crucial. So I always get way longer flights than others. Yeah.
Well, we've seen you fly, Brent. You don't fly full throttle like the rest of us. We just want to go full throttle.
He's just in there just milking it, huh? Spanish Cop said, I think I flew on for 4 minutes with 37% left. So, definitely not bad flight times, for an EDF. And he has the 12 blade motors in his.
So that he's got the inliners.
Yeah. The inrunners.
Inrunners. Thank you.
I got the outrunners, and man, mine flies perfectly fine. It has plenty of power. And I think I clocked the thing doing like 110, 109 miles an hour.
Yeah, my version 1, I switched out and I put in the inrunners in it. And I can't remember what KV they are, but they were the latest greatest a couple years ago.
It's plenty fast. Head speed says, oh, go ahead.
I didn't like how mine flew with the outrunners in it. I'm gonna change it to inrunners next time it goes up, because I just felt like I had to stay like at 80% to 90% throttle to keep the thing flying.
Dude, I can fly mine at like 30 to 40% throttle. Like the thing just grooves.
It felt like it would not pick up the power that I wanted when I was demanding it. I don't know.
Mine floated. I could turn the power off.
Yeah, mine floats. That's crazy. Yeah. I mean, literally, I was flying that thing at I'm not kidding you, like 30, 40% throttle, and it was grooving right along. I didn't feel like it wasn't sinking or anything. Hex B says, I get 8+ minutes on my V1 A-10 with E-Flight 2100 kV 80 millimeter fans and Spectrum 7000s. So, yeah.
Woo, I'm some heavy packs.
Dude, that is a long enough time that you get tired, you know?
I fly my version 1 off Spectrum 7000s.
Do you really?
Yeah, no problem.
I never had any success.
I can't remember. It's been so long since I've flown it. I can't remember my flight times. I don't think I was getting 8-minute plus. So that just means Brent's better on the throttle management than I am.
But see, if you don't feel the need, I mean, and honestly, in an A-10, you really don't need to go like full throttle a lot.
No.
But like if you're cruising around like 40, 50% throttle, dude, you'll get really nice flight times. You guys are going to make me take out my A-10, and I never really fly it a lot because, you know, it's like 2 lipos every single time, but I'm not against that. And every time I fly
it out this weekend,
it's like one of the best flying airplanes I've flown. Every single time I fly it, I'm like, it's just excellent.
Yeah, that A-10 flies just like that MB339, that Hangar 9 that I've got the turbine in. I mean, it's the straight wing. They just fly easy.
They really do.
Good. I like my 64 model. My Twin 64 flies really good.
Oh yeah, that little Twin 64 is like 100-mile-an-hour airplane. That thing just rips. Let's see, Will, what the heck happened to the black horse Viper? He says, you get that retrieved or find out what happened?
Oh, yeah, man. I retrieved that thing. Me and Bobby got that thing down within 24 hours.
Sure did.
And Garrison. Yeah, we got that thing down within 24 hours, man. And it was the ESC. So I sent the ESC back to Motion. They asked me to send it back to them, and I sent it back. And they confirmed that the ESC was defective. So they sent me a new ESC. They also threw me a little help on purchasing another one. So they gave me a store credit towards purchasing anything from Motion RC or whatnot. So they looked out for me.
That's cool.
You getting that one from
Jeremy?
You and Jeremy work out that deal on the one he's got in the box?
Yeah. I'm actually gonna get that one from Jeremy, but they did something extra for me. They didn't have to do that, but the jet was over a year old, so they didn't have to look out on the jet. And it was a ZTW. It's a ZTW Skyhawk. So it's 160 amp high voltage ESC. But I have one in my AFF22 that has never given me any problems. Actually, the one that's in my AFF22 was in the Black Horse Viper, but I moved it from the Black Horse Viper to the F22. And that one, I've been flying that one for a long time. I put the new one in the Viper, and then, of course, that's how that happens.
So get this, guys. This is something that you guys probably need. If you don't have one of these at your field or anything like that, and you got trees close by, Tim, this excludes you. You don't have this problem. But one thing,
you're talking about a pole, a retrieval pole.
Actually,
why when you mention my name, you say pole? I don't understand. What's the correlation there? I'm trying to figure this one out. Tim,
one of the things that we actually used to get this airplane out of the top of the tree was actually ingenious, and I didn't even think about it, but this is literally what we used right here. It's a slingshot pole that throws it's like a 1 pound weighted bag with a string on the end of it. And so you can shoot it at the top of the tree and actually get it on the other side of the tree, and you could shake the tree limb and actually get it to come down. That's literally what it is. It's a slingshot on a pole, and it's made specifically for shooting on top of trees. It made it so easy.
We used to use an arrow and just try a string to it and shoot it up.
And guys, hey, check it out. Don't sleep on the string that it has attached to it, because that string, it got caught, and we had to get that bag back down from there. I tied that string to the back of my Armada, and it literally broke a branch and came down. Still intact. Like, it did not pop. Like, the tensile strength on it was up.
Yeah, it's extremely smart. So literally, you're just shooting a bag with a lanyard on it onto the top of the tree, and then you can shake it down. I mean, it was a very ingenious idea.
What is it, spring loaded?
Yeah, no, it's not spring loaded. Well, it's like a slingshot. So I mean,
It's like a slingshot. Yeah, play with a slingshot.
And you had to use a 12-gauge shotgun shell or something. That'd make it even better.
You could do it like this, or you can pull it all the way back and then let it go. So, but that's something that we're gonna end up getting one of those at our field, because I actually saw how that worked, and it was absolutely cool.
You were the one that shot the shot that got it down.
I sure did. Yeah, Spanish Cop said, "Bobby, did you wear that helmet through?" No, you know I didn't wear any helmet. Let's see.
Safety second.
Oh man, right? Let's see. Hamilton says, haha, y'all like touching poles. Yeah, man. We actually did shoot that up there. It was pretty interesting, though. So let's see. Spanish Cop says, I hate, he's had 2 failures with the ZTW, by the way. So that was something that was cool. Very, very useful. But let's see here. So anyway, back to that little that SE5A. I haven't flown it yet, but I can't wait to. It's going to go on a 4S. $309. I'm really enjoying the airplanes that are hovering around the $309 window. So it definitely looks pretty good. But Jeremy, what's the word on that big bird right there?
Still assembling it. We're hoping to have it hopefully ready to fly possibly this weekend.
Nice.
Yeah, we're just trucking at it. I've been real busy this week. My daughter graduates tomorrow.
Nice, congratulations.
So we've been doing a lot of spring cleaning, I guess you want to, because we're having people over at the house. So lots of that. Yeah, we just been busy with everything you can, trying to get what I can done here, but yet also family time that you got to do. So.
Completely understand.
Yeah, no, everything's going really good with it. Let's see. I have the cockpit on there, but the wires are still kind of dangling out. I've got everything wired, servo-wise, lights-wise. Gear doors need to get adjusted. We're pretty close. The motor's temp sitting in it.
Nice.
Let's see. We'll pull that out real quick. I just wanted to make sure that it was going to fit right in there. But yeah, we got the.
What's up, Dan Zimmerman?
You're talking about Sweetwind. This is a 140. The 140, in my opinion, is the most trustworthy motor out. But love it.
Huh. Man.
So we're going with a 140 in this jet. Got some.
As he drops it on the table.
Right. He's like,
it slid out of my hand.
Man, that's actually pretty good.
The air will slide right over this.
Well, I'm
sending that clip to Andy at CRX and says, if you send it back, this is the reason why.
Does that count as a crash?
I don't know.
No, that's Sweetwind from us at Banana Hobby. So we sell them too. So
man,
y'all service them too, or y'all just you send them to?
No,
Andy?
we send them to China to be done service wise. So they go directly to the source. So they're getting everything direct from the source.
Hey, here's my question. So let's say like you get a turbine from China and you have to send it back for repair, and it goes back to China. Do you have to pay tariffs on that? It going to and from?
I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah, like I'm just curious.
I don't think so because it's already paid for.
Big Nasty, what's going on, man?
It's not a sell, it's a repair. It's different.
Hey, we got a good question right here. Hey guys, would you say that the frequency that Spectrum operates on is now overly saturated? I say this to address all the continuous crashes due to signal loss. What do y'all think?
I think that signal losses are pilot error.
Well, I don't know. Not necessarily.
I think that there's more pilot error blamed to signal losses than there is signal losses that are positive as signal loss.
You know, you say that, Jeremy. That's funny because we have people, you know, crash their plane or whatever, and they say, "Oh man, I lost total control of the plane," and we're like, "Let me see your radio." Why? And they'll have a Spectrum radio, and you look in there, and they got like 30 fades and no holds, and you're going,
"Yeah,
yeah."
No, there's a lot of things that exactly. A lot of things that attribute to crashes that people don't understand. It's not always a receiver when you don't have control. It can be controllers. It can be gyros. It can be
a servo.
It can be a servo fella. Yeah, it can be all of that stuff. So, I believe 99% of crashes are pilot error.
Right. Period. So what I can say though is one better way to get assurance and minimize that is getting one of these little receivers right here. Yeah, you get one of those little receivers. It's just another assurance, you know, to make sure you have a good connection. That way you can rule out, well, if you're running another antenna, then obviously, and you still lose one, then you know it's most likely not that kind of situation where it's losing like signal. And it's more like what Jeremy's saying, because I mean, let's be honest. I was just telling Will this. It's amazing that these airplanes we take up with all those electronics in it, with all the signals and everything that are going through, come down every single time. I mean, it's amazing if you really think how everything is working in harmony just to get it back down.
Yeah.
You know, all the servers are working.
Yeah, absolutely.
ESP's working. You know, it's really impressive, to be honest with you. So
yeah, that was because of the incident that Bobby missed of this weekend. That's where that conversation came from.
Oh yeah. We'll hey boys, we'll crash another airplane, guys. We'll crash another airplane.
You didn't call me on Monday
for you.
He crashed another one, boys.
Oh my god.
Well, look, this one I do not believe Will was responsible for. I believe that his elevator failed on him. It was an F-18, the free wing. And I think the servo just stopped working, right?
Yeah, because I was coming in to land and my approach was perfect. And
on 15 or 14?
The 18.
F-18. See,
F-18. Yeah, my approach was perfect. I was coming in to land and I put the nose down just slightly so I don't, stall to keep me some airspeed. And right when I was getting I was about 8 feet off the ground, I started pulling back on the stick to roll the nose up. And it just did not pull up. It just kept that nose down and it just said, boop, pancaked on the ground. Snatched all the gear out of it. And I was like, what in the world? It's like I had, I pulled up on it. And the thing about it is when I realized it wasn't bringing the nose back, I pulled back on it some more and I was like, okay, it's not on to land like I want it to. I'm thinking go around, but I didn't throttle up just yet because I didn't see no response from the elevator. I didn't want to throttle it into the ground. So I was like, what in the world?
It was spectacular, guys. We had a good 30-foot debris field just in a straight line.
Yeah.
I'm telling you now, Bobby. Usually,
I'm sorry, dude. And look, that was one of those
your
days.
First phone calls me. You hadn't even left the field and said, guess what Will did?
Yeah, I didn't. I was like, because it was basically because I felt like it wasn't Will's fault. For one thing, it wasn't Will's fault,
Yeah.
So,
no,
and we're just
we
joking.
don't have the video because Bobby was not on the camera.
Yeah.
The one time he didn't do it on the
most of the incidents that I ever have, it's when we're not filming. So it's like I always try to film.
Spectrum.
just for luck, right? You want somebody filming.
It seems to always happen. When I lost my F-15 Eagle, no film. When I lost my F-18, no film. We got photos, but no film. When I lost my Eurofighter, my Comparf Eurofighter, no film. It's like, you gotta be kidding me.
Yeah. Michael brings up a good point. He says Spectrum outsold delivery more than any other radio, 10-1. So you'll hear about Spectrum problems more than anything else. Also, antenna placement has a lot to do with it. He's absolutely right. I mean, it is the most popular radio system.
We had an entire show based upon essentially receivers and transmitters for a while back. That's where we talked a lot about that. I said, the only time I've really had a signal loss that was verified by the transmitter freaking the heck out was in Las Vegas,
Right.
So, I mean, it happens, but again, the amount of flying that I do and have done for one signal loss in years like that, I mean, there's no issue with the 2.4 that Spectrum's running. 2.4s ran on every single transmitter that's running 2.4. It is what it is. Location is the key, I think.
I'm gonna co-sign.
If you want to keep up with signal loss, so in your transmitter, Spectrum transmitter, whether it could talk or not, all you can do, you can go under your telemetry warnings, and in telemetry, you want to go under flight log, and then you want to change it from dB to percentage R. And what that basically, you want to set that to 40. And when you get under 40, you get 40% or less signal strength, it'll alert you your signal strength is dropped below 40%. At that point, you need to turn that joker around and come back to you. So, because I had to do that a lot with my IX-12. Bobby knows about that thing. That sucker was weak. So I had that set. So when I got too far away, it let me know, turn around and come back, because you lost, you're at 40%. You're getting ready to get pretty low. So that does buy you.
I got a cosign with Big Nasty. He says, I know I'm man enough to admit, a dumb thumb. He says, I'm also observant enough to see the same spot in my field come into question. So he's not trying to cause controversy, but it is what he sees. And I think he's right. There are places on fields where you get weird signal strikes, right? There are like real earth anomalies in certain places where signal is just automatically like null. There's those anomalies where you have that.
Well, you talk about anomalies. Has anybody had any issues with signal per se when we talk about these solar flares?
Honestly, I'll be honest with you. If I know there's going to be a solar flare, I won't fly. I just won't do it.
I mean, I just moved about it a little bit, but I flew the last several times in the last couple of months, and I still flew, and I didn't have any problems with it. But I'm just wondering. I mean, has anybody had any anomalies?
I'll never have.
Probably point at that. Just a curiosity thing.
I think though too on that though, if a solar storm is hitting, it's gonna take a little over 8 minutes for it to get here. So
I mean,
you forget about it.
Possible. He said I had a free wing F-18 crash on landing from an elevator servo failure as well. He had the same thing happen to you.
It's notorious for it. I think I mentioned that before.
Wow.
I mean, heck, they had a humongous recall or compensation that they had for all those planes that went in. Justin, my buddy, he had 3 go in. I had 1 go in. So I mean, there was a lot. So
what I was telling Bobby was that I think that as a good maintenance, like full scale planes go into a maintenance period just as well. I was saying just as a good maintenance, maybe like once every year, or if you fly this plane a lot, if you fly it a lot every year, change out the elevator servos at least, because they take a lot of the load. That's what's pitching the plane up, pitching it down. landing the plane. The elevator is landing the plane more so than the ailerons. The ailerons just keeping the thing level. So, and especially if you're a guy like me that use ailerons, you're constantly using those elevator servos. So,
Tim, what do you think about that?
I absolutely do maintenance schedule on servos and stuff like that. On planes that I fly religiously, I change them out on a regular basis, especially if it's an airplane that I really love and I don't want it to disappear.
Right.
Yeah, I do periodic maintenance on there. I try to do them early spring or during the winter time frame. So I do that because some airplanes, and I saw this a lot with, please, I'm not talking airplanes, please not. But on a lot of the free wing airplanes, you'll have servos that just randomly just start going.
I've seen that where they get jitters.
Yeah, I've seen that too.
And I change out servos as soon as I start seeing that. But that's one of the common things that I don't see on the planes that I like because I replace pretty regularly, and I criticized an airplane a long time ago, back when I used to criticize airplanes. Because the whole tail section had to be glued on and you couldn't access the wires to change them out. I think it was the Arrows F-15, I think was what it was, the Oregon scheme one. The
Twin 64.
I was like, you gotta glue that tail section on there, and you run the wire through it, and you can't change that servo out if you wanted.
Wow.
And I got into it.
I can't remember who I got in with it, but I was like, I change out servos on a regular basis, so this doesn't work for me, And then I got told, well, you should never have to change those servos out. I'm like, okay, yeah. We would like in a perfect world to never have to change anything out. But if you did, you're going to have to dig that out. And anyway, long story short, I changed things out.
And that's what I'm going to start doing. I'm going to start going through my planes that I fly regularly and, change the servos out on them. It's cheaper to change the servos than to have to buy another plane.
I agree.
It's a safety thing to me sometimes, and if I want to keep that plane for a long time, like heck, I've got my KC-135 that I've built, right? That's a plane I don't take the crazy risks for unless I plan on wanting to rebuild one. So,
So Tim, what do you think about that? Have you ever had this same issue?
Yeah, I've had some servos that started acting funny. On the gas-powered warbirds that I fly, and and turbines. But not so much on the turbines, but on the gas-powered planes, the giant scale stuff that I'm flying. I mean, the vibration. So I'm constantly, it's like after, probably a dozen flights, maybe 15, a dozen and a half flights, something like that. I usually go take the plane and I don't take it apart, but I go check screws, make sure, everything's looking tight. And, so maintenance is a big thing. On the foam planes, you don't have as much vibration. However, it's something that especially on landing gear, you should always be checking your landing gear, especially if you're landing on grass, because I don't care if it's foam, I don't care if it's balsa, I don't care if it's composite. You're gonna be rattling some stuff loose, especially on pavement. But you mix a gas motor with it, it's even more. So, maintenance is a big thing. That I try to stay on. Matter of fact, I just pulled my BF-109 apart and checked everything because we were having some issues with the motor on Tuesday. Ran great the first flight, second flight couldn't get it to go full throttle, and we're like, what in the world's going on with it? And it needed a summer tune, So we're always tuning on those motors, between cold weather, hot weather, things of that nature. It was just weird. It flew great the first flight, and then I bring it down, I go up for a second flight, and I can't get the thing to stay running. So, you always have to check.
The valves are getting loose.
Something, and those things just I find screws every once in a while. I'll find a servo screw in the bottom of my fuselage, and I'm going,
oh yeah, you shake it,
and then I'm looking, and it happened to be the throttle servo. Oh boy, one came out, and 2 or 3 came out. We're gonna have a bad day.
I can't tell you how many times it's happened quite a bit that I'm flying like some gasoline planes, some nitro airplanes, and all of a sudden I'm flying it, and then all of a sudden my throttle linkage gets stuck, and it somehow, vibrated loose, and now I can't control the throttle, and I'm sitting up there having to fly the thing for like 15 minutes
until it runs out of gas. Yeah,
because I didn't do any maintenance, right? Like it's just one of those things.
I had one of those where I had to fly for 35 minutes on a Sato motor.
Yeah, man. Appreciate it, Keith Dunn. Thank you, buddy.
And the throttle cut. Not only did the throttle servo fail, and this was an older Zenoa engine.
Yeah,
I had a switch on a servo, or a servo on a switch, so I could turn the ignition on and off. That failed too. So I flew this thing for 35 minutes.
Oh, dude, that would have been fun.
I have done that, dude. It's absolutely
35
horrible.
minutes. Oh my god.
The bad thing is it did it on a quarter. It quit on quarter power, so it was just enough speed to keep it flying.
Yeah,
but you couldn't come in for a land, and it was too fast for.
Flyer Mikey says, I put $15 receivers in my expensive planes. FR Sky is rock solid. I will say, you do get some a little better than others. Michael says, that's like a guy who saves money putting a $10 receiver in a $650 airplane.
Well, it's the same thing with servos.
I've been that guy. I've been that guy before.
Same thing with servos. If you're going to put a cheap servo in it, and no offense to, some of these companies, but they're not putting the highest quality servo in their planes.
That's true.
So, if it's something like Jeremy said, you love this plane, it's one of your best planes, favorite planes to fly, you might want to just change out the servos and spend the money now, instead of crying later.
Well, and for the cost saving person, right? Your elevators are the ones you got to be focused on.
Correct.
Okay, for the most part, right? So you don't need to change out all the ailerons and all the flaps and all that, but heavy use things, and the most heavy use servo is always the elevator.
That's true. Always. It's always working. Yeah.
So put your attention to those if you want to do that. That's what I do. I mean, I've got boxes and boxes of free wing, just servos, laying around everywhere because I replace them all.
That's
get them in all the different sizes, and I just have them ready to go.
Yep.
No worries.
I got a box full of different servos also, just for that same reason.
Yeah, it is what it is. If you're a hobbyist and you're planning on doing this for a long time, please take this advice. It'll help you out. The other thing that was mentioned is pre-flight inspections are absolutely important, guys. Yeah, absolutely. That is where you're going to potentially catch something. You're going to save yourself a $300, $400, $800, $18,000 airplane. It's just by checking a couple little things.
And believe it or not, I had this happen, and I hate to say it was on a Spectrum radio. However, I flew a flight, came down, was going to do a second flight like a half an hour later, powered the thing on, and the ailerons were reversed.
Wow.
I have no clue how they reversed. They reversed. And I'm like, I just flew it 30 minutes ago, and I didn't go into the programming to change the direction or anything. So I don't know how. So it's something like you said, Jeremy. Every time I go up, I don't care if I just flew the plane 5 minutes ago. I always check the control surface just in case something.
Yeah. I always. You probably see it in my videos. Whenever I do videos, you'll see us walk around and we'll grab surfaces just to make sure. Because you may have a surface that works, but it has zero torque.
Yep.
We're gonna find.
And that's how I think. That's what I think happened to me because we did Bobby saw it. I did pre-flight check on that plane, and then I got it on the runway. Did a pre-flight check at the end of the runway before taking off, and then I took off and started flying. And was cutting around, doing good. Coming to land, and it was like, you got no servo.
Yeah,
like, you got nothing. Like it just didn't want to do.
So,
there you go.
But man, we definitely have talked about that one, about maintenance and the importance of that one too. So
we killed that one.
We definitely killed that one right there. But let's talk about this one right here, dude. The ElectroStreak 1.1 meter bind and fly airplane, dude. Me and RC Pilot Will actually took that thing up and flew it. We did a maiden flight on it. I just released a video tonight, actually. I actually haven't had a chance to actually see if it's doing well or not. I don't know if you guys have seen it or not, but dude, let me tell you, that ElectroStreak is actually a really good flying airplane. I was thoroughly impressed how well the thing did.
It's a cool little plane.
It is, dude. It's really a good little plane. And for the price, I think the price on it is actually a really good deal. And that thing is so strong. If you watch the video, I hand tossed the airplane and I throttled up, and somehow, some way, I hit the throttle kill switch, and it just came
that
down.
was so funny.
Yeah, dude, it came down and hit.
Oh God.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, I'll show that video. I'll show you that part of that.
You
video.
want to know something funny too? Dan from Boomerang used to work for Habaco before it got bought out by Horizon. He was on the team that built that plane for Habaco. It was just a different color, so it's a re-release from way back.
Man, well, I remember the ElectroStreak was like a electric airplane, but it wasn't like this. And it didn't.
No, I'm sure they did some modifications, but yeah, that Dan was telling me today that was one of his.
That's awesome.
Projects.
That's awesome. Here, I'll show you the video of it, guys. And you can kind of see, we can all laugh together and everything. So, but yeah, that kind of thing just doesn't really happen a lot. But when it did, it was actually pretty funny. All right, here we go. Let's see here. We'll play it. You ready?
Let's go.
Here we go. Up and away. Uh-oh, I did that.
What the heck? You didn't use hand launch.
Yeah.
Walk of shame.
Walk of shame.
It was a walk of shame. It was a walk of shame. It was just one of those things, dude. I've never done that before. So
you always get me with the walk of shame.
Right?
So I was
I
like,
do, man. I do. Up and away. Uh-oh, I did that.
Mistake.
I actually hit my throttle cut by accident.
Was that two? Was that number two?
Hey,
no, I did it once.
Took that walk of shame.
I was gonna say.
I hit it, I grabbed it, and hit. But then the second
You're
time,
trying to make an excuse.
yeah, the throttle cut that time, boys and girls.
This is so fun out
Look
here.
at that. Oh man, that was crazy. And then where it landed, I thought I broke the prop. There was another prop where somebody else must have broke one. It flies.
Yeah.
It's screaming now.
I feel like it's
that's
that thing was moving
time.
out. That's all stock,
Yeah,
guys. Throttle. Ready?
Go for
Full
it.
throttle.
Yeah, it was cooking.
Oh yeah, it's screaming now.
I feel like it's
That's about my
so
cut.
neat too.
Actually,
we got you guys that
don't
are
know.
that have it. It rips.
Yeah, you definitely, guys. If you haven't seen that, if you haven't seen it yet, definitely watch it because it's actually a really good review, and it actually kind of lets you see. But for the price point for that airplane, you can't really beat it, man. I mean, it's like it's just a good deal. $279 for something like that. I mean, and it's a very versatile airplane. It's easy to see. It's much bigger than some of the other airplanes that are flying. But $279 for this airplane that goes 130, you can actually make it go 130 by changing out the prop. And there's a lot of people doing that.
Yeah, 4S and Dave War's got one of this, and he's got a prop that just came in and he hasn't flown it. It's a different prop. It's even going to go faster.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just one of those things where you can just definitely make it go fast. But I will say it flies surprisingly smooth right here. And the AS3X is like tuned perfectly for it. So, and I was running that on SMCs, by the way, and them SMCs made a massive difference in punch. So I was impressed with it. But on 3S, it does 100 miles an hour. I was guessing it was probably doing about 110 or so. But we never really speed trialed it or anything like that. But that was a great airplane, a good flyer, and I really enjoyed it too. So, but this is one right here, guys, that you can actually get, and it's priced accordingly. So, if that's something that you think you like, definitely try it out, man. I think it would be something, definitely something good. Let me see. Jump back in the comments over here. Let's see here. What's going on, Keith Dunn? Mountain RC said ElectroStreak flies great. Put an 810 prop on it and it screams even more. Yeah. What's going on? Omaha Air Defense. What is going on? So let's see here. He said, how fast does it go? I didn't speed trial that one and I didn't radar it either, but I'm going to assume it was doing well over 110 miles an hour, especially when we calibrated it.
It was going over 110 easy. Which
brings me to another topic is that, you really got to calibrate your airplanes. The first time me and Will took that thing out, I didn't calibrate it, and me and Will were kind of like, it just wasn't that fast. It didn't seem that fast.
Yeah, we wasn't impressed at all.
Yeah, and then I called Will up and I was like, man, I don't think I calibrated at all. He's like, let's recalibrate it and then take it back out there. And I was like, all right. So we did a full recalibration and took it up, and absolutely, it was much faster. I want to say it was probably getting 80% throttle without being calibrated. And then when we calibrated it, we got 100% throttle out of it. And then you see the difference of it in that second portion of that review, and it is clearly much faster. It even sounds even better. So, moral of that story is make sure you calibrate your ESCs. Jeremy can attest to that, and so can Will. So, let's see here. So, Jeremy, you got a question. Is your next container on the water? Everybody's wondering where are the C-17s? Where are the J-20s?
It's not on the water yet.
Yep.
But they're getting close.
So there you have it.
So we're estimating that the J-20 will be here mid-July.
Mid-July. Oh. There you have it. And so I do know there's been a couple of people that have picked them up from other sources, but it's not the ones that Banana Hobby is going to sell, because they're actually, the difference is they're changing out the gyro on there, and they're just going to have like I think
not just the gyro. There's settings within also.
Okay.
Functionality things that have got to be better than what they've got.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
For instance, look.
What is that?
What's that?
That's a test. That's a scent test.
Hold up.
That's a scent test. That's a scent test. These are all test controllers that all do different functions within them. So we'll just say that the ones that they've got out there, we'll just say that that's the programming that's on here. Well, we didn't like that programming, so we had them do another program. We didn't like it, so we had them do another. We didn't like it, so we had them do another.
Huh.
And then we had another.
V3 on that one.
We had another, and then we had another. So essentially, there is a lot of things that ours is going to be better on, and it's going to be worth the wait. So
that's actually pretty interesting to see.
So, like, for instance, a gyro, okay, that's something we wanted different, okay. I don't want to tell too much because I want those people that bought their planes to have to wait.
Nice. So, I appreciate that, Flint.
Essentially, we have put a lot of time and effort. We put a whole entire year of testing this airplane to bring you guys a good product that has been ran through the ringer, so we can flat out say what we actually know is going to be going to you. So hopefully you guys enjoy the time that it took. We apologize for it taking as long as it did, but every time we wanted them to change something, it took them the time to make the cards, put whatever they needed into it, the changes that we wanted, and now we have that on there. So we have ran it through the ringer. We have had not just myself fly that, but we have had at least 10 different pilots, all that concur that this airplane is ready for everybody. So
I like that. I like that all that extra is going into it. Green Your Shade RC says, this is by far the GOAT RC live stream. And we appreciate that, dude. He says, thanks, Bobby, for putting it together. Man, it's my pleasure, dude. I couldn't do it without all these guys right here, too, man. It's this wealth of knowledge that everybody has right here that makes it so great. So, and honestly, it's a lot of fun. This is a lot of fun to do. Sometimes it is pretty tough to keep, doing a live stream and things like that. But when you got a bunch of good group of guys that make it fun and everybody's involved, it's just cool. So I certainly appreciate that.
So I'm going to plug this airplane in, and I want to show you guys something that I want to make sure it gets absolutely presented to you guys, so you guys don't activate this in the air. It is what is called ground speed brakes. Okay.
All right. Let's see it.
The keyword on it is ground. Okay. Don't engage this in the air. Okay. It is intended to help you slow the airplane down after landing. Yes, it's going to come with thrust reversing, so you're going to have that too, but it's just the look. Okay. If you engage it in the air, It's all up to you. Okay, it's going to say it in the manual. Don't do it. You're going to have a big sticker that says don't do it, but we're going to show you. Okay,
let's see it.
We want to make sure you guys know. Don't activate this in there. This is not warranty covered.
All right, get to the good stuff.
Is this kind of similar to putting up?
It's not warranty covered.
Yeah, he said it's definitely not warranty covered.
Yeah, is it something similar to pulling a parachute out before you land?
I've seen a video of that.
Yeah,
that's our okay. So you know we all love scale features, right?
No,
scale features work great on scale jets, the real ones, right?
It should work the same on the model jet.
You know what I mean? For instance, you guys remember the Rafael from FMS, right?
Right.
That airplane had a similar. It was called Crow brakes.
Crow.
Right? You remember that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Crow.
People were putting that on their airplanes, and their planes are like dunking in. You know. Okay. This is the same thing. So you're going to have your ailerons go up, your flaps go down, and your canards are going to go full deflection to push the nose down to slow you down. Okay. That's what it's intended to do. Just don't do it in the air. It's just what it is. So there's your warning. I'm going to show you. But again, you don't get this stuff anywhere else here besides this channel, right? So
right.
But yeah, I got to turn on my iX20. It's going to take a minute.
But, all right.
Yes, John, I was muted. Josh, I was muted for a minute because the dog was barking in the background, so I didn't want everybody to listen to it.
Hey, thank you for that. Hey, by the way, Big Nasty says, SMCs, speak to us who live in the desert. I see 115-degree temps. Will the SMC survive out here? I need to know. What do y'all think?
The SMCs that I had part of, they got real hot, so I don't know.
They do okay?
I didn't own them myself. I don't know what their charging history was, but I borrowed some, and they got hot and they got round. So I don't know if they were old or what.
Oh, wow.
That's the only experience I have with them. And again, I speak with experience, not.
So what I'm hearing is if Jeremy needs to borrow your batteries at a flying event, don't let
That's
him.
What I'm hearing too.
I hear.
I do. I'm up for buying new batteries. I'm in need of at least 12 batteries.
12.
I got to do a refresh on batteries.
Batteries. Yeah, like that's easy to come by.
I was getting ready to say you're talking about $1,200 or more.
Well,
look at Will over there yawning. Will's yawning over here on the live screen.
Hey, I worked hard.
These are what I used for a long time, and they were awesome.
They're working out.
This is a 2-year-old battery.
Yeah, it looked a little puffy to me.
Yeah, it looks.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
Man, I say go ahead and push that thing to the limit, man. Don't be scared of it. Everybody likes a round lipo.
I also like a round Stolt.
I was gonna say it's like a lady. Everybody likes a round lady. Man, it's fun until it explodes on you. Let's see here.
Hey Bobby, what did you think about that video I dropped today?
You're talking about which video?
The auto wing suite.
I hadn't seen it yet. You came out with it?
Yeah, I dropped it out today. I dropped it at like 12:30.
No, 12:30 in the morning.
All right, can you guys see
12:30 in the afternoon.
No, I haven't seen it.
Yeah,
I haven't seen it at all.
All right, so this is that Crow brakes or ground speed brakes, right? So essentially, like I said, it raises your outside ailerons, your flapped portion or the inner aileron, right? It goes down and then your uppers go up. And so at that point, you just have your steering. So do not engage it in the air because it's a ground operation. It's for looks. But you also have the cool feature of this, which puts it into the spaz mode or display mode.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that.
That's kind of cool. And
that's pretty cool.
That allows you to check all your servos too. So it functions them in different ways and shapes other than what your transmitter does, which is cool. So that's a servo checking mode. Kind of cool.
Omaha said round like a HRB. Yeah, HRB lipo. That man does not care for HRBs at all.
I know, right?
Hey, look. By the
way,
good
stuff on here is this thing's got aluminum actual landing gear.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Here, let's do a cycle. If this battery doesn't fall out and it doesn't fall out of my hand, like I always seem to drop something here.
You dropped a turbine. You dropped a chip card already.
Yeah.
Let's drop
Yeah.
a planer battery.
Drop like 4 chips. Let's go. Oh, look at that. Man, I can't wait till those come to market. Yeah, we need those to hurry up.
I agree.
So again, it's all aluminum.
Man, that's pretty smooth. I will say that is absolutely smooth.
Are those?
But no more breaking retract cases.
Yeah.
Are those JP? They look like JP.
They might be.
Mm-hmm.
He said they might be. They're not. He said they might be like they're not JPs. We know what they are.
I don't know what factory they are, but they're pretty awesome. So.
Hey, look.
They sure look like JPs.
Hey, by the way,
like some people have said or have already ran tests, we've already tried to make this thing as super tail heavy as you can. Others have found out that the battery fits where it fits and it likes it where it's at. So,
hey, check this out. Will's video. This is the one he was talking about, the auto wing sweep.
Got the F14 Super Tomcat here, made by Freewing, sold by.
Hopefully, we'll go with a 3.
Hey, Will, you want to talk about the auto wing sweep feature that you came across?
3-minute, 30-second flight.
But yeah,
of course, let's do our.
Well, I mean, like
up, down, right, left.
I don't know if you about to jump to it or. But basically, what it is that the way I have it set up, I have a mix in the transmitter where when I flip the switch into the position 1 on the Z switch, when I go full throttle, the wings will automatically sweep back. When I come out of full throttle to like 80% throttle, I think it is, the wings have come back out. So I don't have to sit there and actually go through the whole process of, oh, yeah, I want to sweep the wings back. I'm at full throttle. I want to sweep the wings back. I got to go hit a switch. Everything just kind of automate, does the thing automation on its own or whatnot. So, which is actually pretty cool. Because I actually did a spin when I went vertical, and I throttled back in the middle of the spin, and you see the wings just come out at the same time on its own. I didn't have to go playing around with switches.
So basically, he has it automatically set up for that. When he goes full throttle, the wings sweep all the way back, and it kind of goes into speed mode. And then when he slows down 50% throttle, then it comes out halfway. And then
just like
all the way down, and the wings come completely out. So it's a pretty neat feature.
Yep, just like the full scale ones. I don't know how many people played Ace Combat 7 or any Ace Combat. If you play it, and you play with the F14, when you squeeze the throttle trigger on the controller, and the plane starts speeding up, when it hits a certain speed, the wings will go back on its own. That's right. Basically where I kind of got that concept from just playing that game, and I was like, I wonder if I could make it where my wings would just go back on now.
You just went full throttle in the video, and the wings go back. Yep, like you're full throttle right now.
Yeah, and I'm about to come out of it, and wings came out. Came out of the throttle, wings came out.
That's actually pretty. That was probably one of the neatest, smartest things I've ever seen. I hadn't seen anybody do that before. So that's kind of cool.
So it's almost like I'm demanding full power, full speed. So give me everything I need to go as fast as I can go. So it automatically just gives me the wings back because it's like, hey, okay, you want to go fast. So
now you're coming in for the landing.
And don't worry, guys. There is a safety feature in place for that.
4, 5. That was 5 landings.
It was 5 landings. It was 5 landings. That's landing 1,
2, 3, 4.
4
and a half.
Let's we got to look at it again. We just got to look at it again. All right. Here we go.
Bobby, but look, guys, I set that thing down smoothly. Those gears bounced on me.
We have to be sure that it's doing what we say it's doing. Let's see here. All right.
Look at how smooth it lands.
All right, here we go. Let's see. All right, here we go.
Yes.
There's 1, 2,
3. Okay. 4, 5. I count that as 5, right?
No. That's not 5.
Definitely
Those didn't leave the ground.
That was definitely 5 for sure.
4.5. I'll say 4.5.
Yeah, I can go full throttle without the wing sweeping back. So I got it on a 3 toggle switch. So I have one position where the wings they'll always stay out, regardless of what. I have the middle position where I can do the auto wing sweep. And then I have a wing sweep position where I can sweep the wings and throttle back and still keep the wings swept back. So it's set up to do that. Also, I have safety features in place where, say for instance, if I got the switch in the auto wing sweep position and I'm on the ground getting ready to take off and I go full throttle, it knows that because my gear is out and my flaps are out, it knows that hey, we're not gonna auto sweep the wings. So the mix knows not to auto sweep the wings. And then now once I'm in the air and I got airspeed and I pull the gear up, well yeah, I'll see my wings go back, but if the flaps are still down, the wings still aren't gonna go back. So it has to see the flaps come up, it has to see the gear came up, and then it'll sweep the wings back. So there's a lot of safety features in place as well.
Here's the question for you on it.
Mm-hmm.
Have you thought about trying to figure out how to get like an air data probe or a pitot probe and make it an airspeed transition thing versus a throttle thing?
I would like to do that, but there's
I don't know if that's possible.
Yeah, there's no way to expect to do it.
Give me some info. Yeah.
I actually have the Spectrum airspeed, the one that they had with the pitot tube and everything. I actually have that, but I have not been able to figure out how to make that thing use the speed that it's reading and apply it to a control. So yeah, if somebody knows anything about that, then please tell me.
Mountain RC had a question. He says, Will, can you go full throttle without sweeping back, or is it an on-off switch?
Yeah, I was just explaining that to him earlier. I said, yeah, that I do have it where I can set it to where the wings will stay out during the whole flight, regardless of what throttle I'm on. So position 0, wings out. Position 1, that allows me to do auto sweep. Position 2, that's just wings swept back, fully swept back. No wings coming out if I throttle down, nothing. So
now Omaha brings up a good point. He says it's good until you hit full throttle on takeoff and they swing back, but you have a switch that activates it, right?
Yeah, so I got it all on combination. So if you go in your transmitter, you'll see where you can set a switch. And then if you scroll all the way down, there's combination. You go to combination, and combination will not, if both switches aren't in the position that they need to be in. So say for instance, like the gear is down. You got your position for gear down, for your gear out, and you get position for auto wing sweep. Well, it needs to be in auto wing sweep and it needs to be in position for gear up or retracted in order for it to see that, okay, we meet the status for this mix. So let's do whatever this mix is. If it sees that the gear is still down, it doesn't meet status. So it's not going to allow the wings to sweep back on takeoff.
Okay.
So you be on the ground with the wings out, taking off. And when you get in the air and you done establish your climb and you got your speed, now if you put the gear up, like I said, yeah, the wings will sweep back then. But you're at speed by that point.
Plain Day said, shout out to Ace Combat. A little awesome game. Dude, that game is like what made me get into aviation, because that was the most coolest thing I've ever seen. And it looked so realistic for that time. Like it was awesome. But I tell you, the only thing I can say, I would love to have an F-14 Twin 80, but the only problem with that airplane, and the reason why I got rid of mine, I had 2 of them, I got rid of it because the landing. I scored perfect landings, and it would still bounce. And it's so low to the ground, you have no margin for error. All it takes is that wing to hit the ground, and then you're done. You're done. So that was only one thing that I can say bad about that airplane. But other than that, it has no other negative tendencies.
I do want to add a delay to it, Big Nasty, but the only thing about that is that if I add a delay, it's gonna it's gonna affect when I actually want to do wing sweep as well. So I think that's the way you're asking the question. A delay, let me see, but no delay on wing sweep back. A delay on wing sweep out. Okay, yeah, that's gonna add a delay on that. So say for instance, I got an emergency, I gotta get this thing in. Last thing I need is a delay for the wings to come out. So
yeah,
I need to get those wings out as quick as possible.
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth, Carter? That is fun. English man. Oh my gosh. Man, well, look, that's actually some pretty good stuff. So, guys, if you haven't had a chance to, make sure you go take a look at Will's full video of that the F-14 with the auto sweep. That was definitely something I had never seen before. Honestly, never even really thought about before. But as we covered that part, I wanted to talk about another airplane that came to market that I love. It's my favorite type of airplane, but it doesn't look cool. Intro, the Giant Thunderstick Aerobatic Sport 96-inch ARF. And you guys are like, what the heck is that thing? Like, what is it?
Try saying that like
you
5 times faster.
You can't. But here it is. It's at Legend Hobby. It's at Legend Hobby, brought to you by Seagulls Models. It's good for a 60cc to a 65, right? 96-inch wingspan. Honestly, it looks like the same thing that Great Plains came out with their 60 size that they had that they did away with. But
it's completely engulfing the person that's holding it.
It's a massive airplane, and I love these stick airplanes. And you guys are like, but it doesn't look like anything. True. But let me tell you, these stick planes fly so good. They fly so stinking good in any type of wind. And I like the fact that it has carbon fiber landing gear. It's got nice little wheel pants. It's a good color. And it's just an enjoyable flyer. And the big sticks like this are just kind of cool. Like you can fly them in anything. Windy days, they don't care about whatsoever. So, and honestly, the price for it, $599, is not bad at all. So this one is on pre-order, I believe.
That's an ARF, right?
Yeah.
Is it a complete ARF? So you got to get everything, the servos and all?
Yep, you got to get the servos, you got to get the engine, and your receiver.
Cool. You can source out the stuff to make it fly how you want it to fly then.
Bingo. But it's an amazing flying airplane. I have the 30cc version of the stick, and I love it. I just don't fly.
Everybody loves the stick ones.
Yep.
They fly well. Simple.
They really do, man. And like I said, they don't look like anything, but I promise you, it is probably the best flying airplane that you will ever have. Like the most versatile one too, as well. So, and I don't know if you guys are familiar with Legend Hobby. I know at Jeff's Customs RC, they've been pushing those guys pretty good. And they got a lot of good stuff, man. If you're looking for like gas warbirds, and Tim can attest to it, man, they've got all kinds of cool stuff.
Corsair.
Yeah, they got Corsairs. I've been looking for a Japanese like Zero or a Val for the longest time. And
I think they have a white. They have a white Zero.
Yeah, I want the white Zero. Yep. And man, I've just been looking all over the place for it. And it used to be ECM or ESM used to carry
ESM.
them.
Yep.
ESM, yeah. And then they went by the wayside. But there it is right here.
Yeah, there's the white Zero.
That's the 15cc one, which is a little smaller. I would prefer the larger one.
Nice.
I have an ASM P61 Black Widow.
Now that's awesome.
That's old school right there.
That is old school.
Funny thing is, Bobby, I would try to look at white on a cloudy day where there's white clouds in the sky.
Yeah,
white shows up so well.
I love this one.
White does great, especially with the giant meatball on there. I'm sure it'll be fine.
Yep.
Yeah, this is amazing.
I've got the white one in a box sitting in my garage.
Like literally,
Lucky.
I probably will get one.
I got the gear for it. Another set of wings. That's the plane I stuck in over at Piedmont.
Ouch.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yep. I got another kit to rebuild it, and I got an extra set of wings, everything for it. because the wings didn't take a beating.
Well, guys, look, let me jump into the comments one last time. Mountain RC says Legend has amazing China Lake scheme T28. I've seen that one, and it is absolutely phenomenal looking. You're right. But yeah, guys, look, man, we've been pushing pretty hard tonight, and we had a pretty good show. I want to give a big shout out to the Flint for the 99 super sticker, and Keith for the 99 super sticker as well. That definitely helps with the RC building fun, and just helps us keep pushing on, man, and making good videos coming out and stuff. So I gotta tell you guys though, super duper secret, top secret airplane. I can't say anything about what it is, who's it coming out by, or anything like that.
Wait, you got a secret airplane?
Absolutely got a secret airplane. I can't say anything other than that, but I'm gonna tell you, I have it. Flown it. It's absolutely amazing. And so
you went flying without me?
Without you, dude. So yeah.
Hey, Will, what's really bad is I know what it is.
He don't know what it is. I haven't even told him. So I told no one. But guys, I gotta tell you, it's completely awesome. So stay tuned. It's gonna come out. But anyway, this has been a good show. Really appreciate you guys, Tim, as always. Certainly appreciate you coming in, jumping in. RC Pilot Will. The same, man. Always glad to have you in here, dropping the knowledge. The auto mix, wing sweep was pretty cool. I will say, never really thought about that. In the logic switches, and always a pleasure having Jeremy Stoll on to the show, dropping the knowledge and the just having a good time. So, guys, I certainly hope you enjoyed that. Make sure you give a thumbs up on the way out. If you guys need anything, you can always shoot any one of us up here an email, or you can hit me up on Facebook Messenger. Whatever you need, we're always available to help. And yeah, man. Until next Thursday, this was show 199. If we make show 200, probably do something special. And again, the channel hit 100,000 subscribers, which is amazing. I think it's over that. That was a couple days ago. And we're just cruising on, man. So super happy with the good content. We're going to keep that coming no matter what. And guys, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. We're out of here. Tim, you got anything?
Nope. Good night, everyone.
Will, you got anything?
Good night, guys. Y'all be good and get some good flying going on out there this weekend.
Jeremy, you got anything?
One last thing. If you're in the area of Utah or around the field that we have, or you want to make it up this way, this Saturday is our Memorial Day event.
Sweet.
Come out and have some fun.
Man.
Anything's welcome, as long as you fly it safe.
You got my airplane ticket coming, right, Jeremy? I should get it tomorrow, tomorrow night.
Well, guys,
I got it through Spirit Air, and they went out of business.
Oh, damn.
He's going to put you on Frontier, buddy.
We're punching on out of here. Y'all take care, and stay tuned. We're going to have a review of this little guy over here coming soon, and a lot of others. So appreciate you coming and hanging out with us, and we're going to punch on out. On your way out of the channel, make sure you give a thumbs up, and that is